Just in time for spring baseball, the Sluggers Wife, and Michael O'Keefe is the slugger of that title. Michael, I understand that George Brad has had a little bit of input here about the nature of your role.
I stole the chewing tobacco look from George. I decided if I could get about 10 pounds of red man down in here and get that look that he gets when he gets up. Well, his is over here because he bats lefty, but I batted righty. I try to get over there.
Well, also some of that frustration, maybe when you're not hitting the ball the way you'd like, you'll disappear down below the locker room.
The snap. The Brett snap, yeah, I went down there for a little snap and broke a few water coolers.
Now this was a term I didn't know about, but you tell me that the snap is when baseball players go a little crazy.
Yeah, they call it snappage. And when things aren't going quite the way they wanted to, they very calmly pick up a bat and they walk into the little vom between the dugout and the locker room and they kill whoever's there.
Indeed. Now I'm wondering if being a baseball player is an even crazier way of making a living than being an actor.
I think so, because it's a little bit like making a movie every day when you play. I mean, you got to go out there every day and give them 2 hours of entertainment, and or 3 hours even, and make sure that it's professional and good and intense and disciplined, and it's a really tough lifestyle, a lot of pressure.
I said Slugger's Wife was just in time for spring baseball. I happen to know for a fact that you're not a fan of bad baseball movies.
Oh, no. I want me to name a few for you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, well, first, we have to, with all due respect to these people as actors, they're not baseball players. Anthony Perkins in Fear Strikes Out. Jimmy Pearsall, he looked like he was a dead bird throwing that ball in right field. He just didn't really have it out there. Gary Cooper, with all due respect to Gary, he didn't look too graceful out there in the field, and he didn't look like he had that Gehrig swing. It goes on and on. It's really difficult to put together. I think Redford looked really good in the natural.
All of this means, of course, that there's a certain amount of pressure on you to look good out there.
Yeah.
Is it right field or left field?
I'm playing right field in the movie, yeah.
Which means some training on your part?
Yeah, I spent about 4.5 months with Keith Bodie, who's a hitting instructor for the Houston Astros. And we worked out in New York during the fall of '83 and the beginning of the winter of '84. And then I went down to spring training with the Braves.
A lot of people are looking at you right now and saying, yeah, where? Well, Nathan Hayes and Great Santini, for example, are two films in which you were quite different. And I can almost see how somebody might not quite have a handle on you yet.
I think maybe I planned it that way. In that I want to be able to do characters that change, that have a different appearance, that have a different kind of lifestyle than the character that I played before that. And play as many interesting people as I can, and if it takes people a while to get hip to that fact, I'm willing to wait.
I'm a big fan of Nathan Hayes, by the way. I'm not sure that picture got the shot it deserved.
That's the story of my career, and that's why I'm glad we're here today to talk about my movies.
Involving the humor that you bring forth in Slugger's Wife, you've said that your family is idiosyncratic, you said. Something strange about the humor in your family that's brought this out.
I don't know what it was really, but my old man's he's sick. He's very sick, and he needs a lot of help. He's a professor of law. I shudder to think what he's doing to the minds of young law students now, even as we speak. He's fond of sitting down at the dinner table in judicial robes and a drill instructor's hat, and having everyone refer to him as Colonel.
Having everybody try to keep a straight face may be tough.
Well, it was like, it's the kind of thing where you had to compete. I heard Bill Murray talk a lot in interviews about, people ask him, gee, Bill, how come you're so funny? And he always says that he had to compete at dinner to get a laugh from Dad, and the hardest laugh was the laugh from Dad. Well, it was like that in my house. I'm the eldest of 7, and my father's very funny, and my mom's got a good sense of humor, and so one of the ways that we got attention was to go in there and make Mom and Dad laugh.
I didn't realize, I have to get this in before we're out of time, that you have another Missouri connection here I didn't know about.
Oh, sure.
Blue Springs, Missouri. What's
Blue Springs. We did it, God, this was 10 years ago, but we did a remake of Friendly Persuasion there with Shirley Knight, Richard Kiley. My brother Kevin acted in the film. And it was a television pilot for a series that was a great television pilot, and as the story of my career goes, as you know, it was never really properly publicized or accepted, and that was it.
Well, now wait a minute. You say never really properly publicized. It's been kind of a long wait occasionally between projects.
Yeah.
This is maybe the less glamorous side of acting some of us don't know about.
Well, it's like anything else. People know, from the public side of what happens in someone's career. They know what they get a chance to see, either through the press, media, and through someone's work, and they don't know that well, for instance, I didn't work for a year and a half after The Great Santini was made, and show business is pretty cutthroat, and there is a lot of competition. There's usually about, I think, the 95% unemployment of people who belong to the actors' unions, and within that, about 5% of the people make a figure where they can live comfortably and support a family and have a lifestyle.
We have this sense that you've got tons of money coming in every week, and you told me once while you were on stage in New York City, what, 125 a week?
The last job I had in New York was 125 bucks a week doing a revival of Short Eyes.
Is there a special apartment complex someplace where actors living on 125 a week live? Do they all go there?
Talent Towers.
Talent Towers.
Talent Towers at 42nd Street and 9th. There are two enormous apartment buildings that the actors live in New York. I don't live there, but Actors Equity got some kind of deal together from this construction company when they were building their building, and there's a lot of subsidy for actors and artists and directors and writers to live in this building.
Michael O'Keefe, I want to shake the hand of the man that actually hit the ball over the wall where Hank Aaron
I did.
set the record. How many balls did you hit over the fence working out?
In Atlanta, in the stadium, I only did it once because we didn't have a lot of time on the field in there to fool around and hit balls. I worked out at a small college that has got a baseball field with similar dimensions where I was able to park it a few times over there.
Michael, all he chooses tobacco. He may be after another 3 night a year like George Brett as well. From Atlanta, talking about the Sluggers Wife for KCTV5, this is John Tibbetts.
Go Royals.